Good evening. It's Norma Cowie, and it's 7 o'clock on a Monday night, and I'm here for mental mind treatments. I'm just like, okay, where do I go from here? I've had a very lazy day today, which I really needed. And so I'm here with two things already on my plate. One of those for myself, actually. And we'll see how this evening goes. I kind of feel a little discombobulated because I have my brother in New Zealand is not doing as well as we would like. It's like he comes to the edge and doctors say, get ready, for the transition. And then he seems to recuperate to some degree, or they find something that works. So it's very unsettling in a way because you're never quite sure exactly what's happening. So I've written up for him to do a mental mind treatment called for healing for his highest and best. I picked 3 numbers, which basically is having faith as he moves forward through the changes and all the things that's happening, and just willing to realize that each step that he goes through and does is newness, change. There is change here. So I'm going to first of all say this prayer for my mental mind treatment for him. My brother's name is Malcolm. I know there is one power and there is one essence in all things. And I also know as I speak my word that it is heard. And I speak my word right now for my brother Malcolm in New Zealand, knowing that healing for his highest and his best at this particular time is in action. No matter what everyone wants or how it is, that his highest and best is being activated and is taking part, shall we say, taking over, taking wherever it is he has to go with what he has to deal with. He's been in a long fight, and it's as though he keeps bouncing back, and it looks like, okay, this one is going to go, and then there's something else, and then there's something else. So I just want the light of love, the light of peace, the light of knowing that there is life, no matter whether you're in a body or you're not. And so as he moves forward to wherever, that the healing will take place for him on whatever level it is that he requires and needs. I give thanks in the knowingness that the healing is there for him. And I release this by saying, and so it is. Amen. I'm also going to say a treatment for myself, actually. And I'm healing for my highest and best, because my 3 numbers that I picked just 2 minutes ago was 3, 16, and 12. Again, both of these have 16 in them. Because out of the blue, that something was supposed to be very easy and simple has become complicated and a little annoying for me, actually. So when we look at the numbers 3, 16, and 12, the issue here is 16 because it came out of nowhere in a way. It was not expected. And so 3 is loving, which is always there. And 16 is that no matter what happens, it is about letting go and rebuilding. And because of the 12 sitting here, it's also about accepting the journey that's with us. And that's where it gets frustrating for me, because everything was moving along relatively well. And then now it's like I have a complication that I have to deal with. And that's okay. So treatment for myself goes like this. I know there is one power and one essence. And I know as I speak my word for myself that healing for my highest and best on a physical level, on an emotional level, on a mental level is taking place. That I need to just accept that time is my friend, that there is movement, growth, and progress, even though it may be slow, that the end result will be there. I give thanks in knowing that I have the inner strength and the inner perseverance and the inner awareness to be accepting, loving, and realizing I don't need to hang on to fear, to anxiety, and to frustration. So I release this knowing that it is true, that I will be and am in good hands. And I give thanks as I release this by saying, and so it is. And so it is. Okay, everybody. Thank you. Karen Lee. Hello, dear. We haven't seen you for a wee while. Your little granddaughter hopefully is growing up really neat. I would love a treatment for whatever comes to you with the numbers of 15, 7, and 21. Well, 15 is emotional. And it is the emotions. And then the 7 is about leaving behind the old, and 21 is creating that balance and harmony that is needed. So let's just see what comes up. I know in the power of all that there is, that as I speak my word for Karen Lee, as she moves forward in life and time, that the emotional quotient, which sometimes creeps in and begins to almost, it feels like twisting what is there, that it needs to be left behind. It needs to be let go. It needs to be saying, behind me, go away, or whatever it is, so that you can come into perfect balance through acceptance, through love, through understanding, and the joy of all that there is. I just feel that the frustration that you experience and come through, it's like recognizing that peace and love and harmony are there. And so it's like one has to seek it out. One has to look for it. One has to ask for it. One has to bring it in and breathe into it and know that all is well. And as you come into that lovely element of balance and awareness, I have trouble lifting my head up until I say that. And then I can look ahead and I can see out into the future, knowing that all is well. And so I give thanks for the knowingness for Karen Lee, that there is future, there is strength, there is purpose, there is all those things that you want, require, and can have as you move forward. And I release this thought to strengthen and to be aware of all that can be. I give thanks by saying, and so it is. Amen. Okay. Whew. Karen Merkus. Karen. Okay, let's see what you got here. I would love a treatment for being more in unity with myself. Okay, just going to put unity with self. And the numbers are 5, 4, and 7. I'm just going to sort of, so again, a sense of the needing of change. So 7 has come up in 3 of them so far. The letting go of the past, and that's on your tail end there. So 5 is the Hierophant, needing more knowledge, needing more awareness. And my sense is I feel almost as though that utilizing what you really know, because there's a stubborn, like a stubborn sense, oh gosh, it's like, when we get a philosophy sometimes and we hang on to it. It's like we hold on to everything tightly because somehow this is it. This is what we need. This is what we've got. And it may be something we've utilized and worked on for years and years and years. But there comes a point when we got to let it go, because we're going into it again, another awareness. We're moving into an unknown quantity. We're moving into a new element of life. And therefore, the letting go of what is old and what is gone before. And it's like not about hanging on to what has worked before, but it is being free flowing and to allow the growth to be assimilated, acclimatized. Things do not remain the same. And when we grow and when we change, just as much as we grow and change, we have to make sure we clean out. It's like cleaning out the closet. I was looking at my closet. What's got to go? Plus, we need to let the summer stuff go, the winter stuff come in. But what has to go? There can be philosophical awareness as well as something that is like this pen, which is, when pens run out, we let them go and get another one. But here I feel this is philosophical. This is a belief that we've had, that someone has said, this is how it works. And now it's time to not get stuck on that, but to look at the new and see it's almost like I feel like a nice, soft, warm breeze coming in and bringing in newness and awareness and growth and progress. I give thanks in the knowing that Karen is ready to let go of the old, I'm going to say the old way, and embrace the unknown with the new, and feel the excitement of that. I feel we need excitement. We need to be enthusiastic. We need to be aware that there's more, and now let it unfold, let it come together to bring the moreness in. I give thanks in the knowing of this as I release this thought, knowing that it is done, that Karen is willing to accept willing to accept newness in all that there is. And for this, as we release this, I say, and so it is. Okay, Leroy. Greetings. I can't seem to get out of my own way. Sorry. Yes, we all have that problem sometimes. I have a difficult time going forward right now. So we've got 12, 4, and 6. My best to your brother and to you. Bless your heart. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Let's have a look at these numbers. 12 is acceptance. 4 is really we get stuck in what is. In other words, you know how a needle on a record gets stuck and it goes, That's what happens in our minds sometimes on a thought pattern that we don't really want. And so what happens with that, we end up in confusion, just like you said in your element here. You have difficult going forward right now. The first element here is acceptance. Boys, sometimes we don't want to have to accept what is, the reality, looking at reality. We cannot change anything until we accept what is fully. And what we try and do, I think, is convince ourselves that we don't have to do that. We can just do this and that will all change that. But it's not the way it will work. So it becomes really important here that you let go, and I'm going to use the word stubborn. Let go of your stubbornness of wanting to let change or wanting to be something or wanting to go somewhere, because all it's doing is creating more and more confusion. It's like acceptance. Well, this is where I am, and where do I want to go? So like I want to, you know how sometimes, I don't know if this ever happened to you, but you lift your chin up. As a kid, I've had that happen to me. They'd put their hand in and say, lift your chin up, don't be sad, don't be down, things are what they are. But what I'm seeing here is that you're wanting some growth, is acceptance of what is, and then let it go. Because until you put in the new thought, the new awareness, the new direction with energy, it's going to be stuck. So let's have a look what we get in treatment on this. Knowing there's one power in one essence, I speak my word for Leroy. And as I speak my word for Leroy, I know through acceptance of the now and letting go my stubborn set, saying this is how it is, which creates the confusion within me, I am able to see beyond. I'm able to see the real goal, I should say the end goal, the end place where I want to go, not what is right now, but rather the new and how that would feel and how that would be. So there is movement into a new understanding or a new awareness. There is life, there is ease and grace through acceptance, no matter what the element is. Often the hardest part is just to accept what is so that we can move forward, so we can move into the new direction of where we're heading. I give thanks in the knowingness that Leroy has this opportunity to come to terms what he doesn't want and be willing to let it go and not harp in his mind and his heart and his actions, but to let it go. And I give thanks in the knowingness as I release this, knowing that strength comes from knowing that there is a power that supports you, loves you, and moves you in the direction of where you're heading. I give thanks by saying, and so it is. Amen. Okay, Karen Lee says thanks. Ocean Sound 100. I don't remember this name before. Let me just write that down on my little booklet here. I just came on what are the numbers about, please. Oh, this is called Mental Mind Treatments with Psychic Impressions. And the numbers that you pick between 1 and 22 gives me the information that I can then put the story together so we know what you're wanting or needing or what you do need. And that's where they come from. They come from the higher arcana of the tarot. I'm a tarot person, and the higher arcana has 22 symbols in it, and I use those. I'm sorry, I can't tell you what your favorite numbers are. You have to tell me some numbers or give me something to work on. But I really appreciate you coming on and asking the questions. I'm not a fortune teller. I can't pull things out of the air. I do readings, yes, but that's because I've got things all set up. So Karen says everything you said is being on was being on. Thank you. Thank you as always, Karen. Marion, Norma, will you say a prayer for what you ask for, but give her 3 numbers between 22? Who am I talking about here? Will you say a prayer for what you ask for, but give her 3 numbers between 1 and 20? Just think of 3 numbers and include them. No, not at the moment. No. Sometimes I get stubborn on things myself. Karen, Leroy. Where am I? Got lost there, but okay. Ocean Sound. Here you go. Thanks, the gal. She likes 4, 3, and 7. I feel like I'm seeing a lot more than years ago. Well, hopefully that's what we do. And my trust in people is depleting a lot lately. Okay, so it's around having faith in a way, having faith or belief. That's an expectation usually, but let's see. Well, you see what? That's the 4. When we look at your numbers, 4, 3, and 7, number 4 is based on experience, where we get stubborn and where we get set. And when we get stubborn and when we get set, it's like we have to remember the love quotient in life. We have to be able to open up and accept as part of that, and accept people where they are and what they're going through. And what it would say here is that it's important to leave behind the old way of thinking. Sometimes having a person's age is really helpful, but because most of my regulars, I know the sense of who they are, so it makes that a little easier. But what I see here in Ocean Sound 100 is take a look at where you're rigid. Take a look when you think they should be, could be, must be a certain way. And remember the quotient you feel in your heart through the love force, through the knowingness that, so that has to do with acceptance of who they are and how they come. Because it's, to me, it's so you're needing to have, and having faith, you're going to let go a lot of old belief systems, or a desire to have people the way you want them. That is sometimes, what's the word I want to say here? Sometimes we do that. We want people to be a certain way, and people change, and they change through time and space. Sometimes it's a growth change, sometimes it's not. But when we love people, we accept them and we work with where they are and give them the strength and the power to help. So let us see what the treatment will bring through for you. I know there is one power, and I know there is essence for everybody is connected to this power. It's whether we use it or not. And in this power, I speak my word. I speak my word and knowing that Ocean Sound 100 is able to let go of how she or he wants things exactly the way it is. It feels like a he, actually. So how it's the old thing about should be, got to be, want it to be, stuck. And notice that people change, and sometimes not the way we want them to change. And as we let that go, the strength and the power that there is a force in this world that loves you, supports you, that you can work with, so that you can let go whatever other people are doing, saying, or being, and concentrate on the direction that you want to go in, where you want to look like, how you want to behave, how you want to move forward. It is knowing that you begin to have faith in yourself and allow other people to create what they're going to create. And even when you don't approve or you don't like, you just wish them for the highest and best, or you wish the best for them, so that there is not this friction inside that gets frustrated because they're not the way they've been before, or they're not the way you want them to be right now, all of that. So it's really about getting away from confusion and indecision and realizing that you're in a whole new space, a whole new awareness. I give thanks as I release this thought, knowing that it is true for you, that you are able to let go of rigidity, of belief of how people need to be, and trust that you look after you. And as I say this, I let it go by saying, and so it is. And I give thanks for you coming on. We're here every Monday night at 7 Western time. Thank you. Ganesh. Okay. Hello. Hang on. I just got to write in my book. I'm a little slow tonight, so just hang in there. Hello. My numbers are 17 and 21. Got it. Can you help me find sense in life? Yep. I just want to add too that I have two other shows. One on bigger one on Wednesday and a small one on Sunday. Those are at 9 a.m. in the morning, and which are more in the philosophical realm. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, let's look at the numbers first. 7, excuse me, and I didn't bring my water this week. This is about letting go of the past and moving forward and creating a balance of what you know so that you can accept and be at one with yourself in so many ways. This is about movement and transition. And we see this often with people who are regulars here on Monday night, that their outlook, their sense of purpose, all sorts of things change as they begin to grow and come into a different awareness and a different form. This is about letting go of the past, letting go of expectations. When you have a philosophy and it's kind of like, this is it, this is how it works, and then you come up against that philosophy, so it isn't working, or it doesn't make sense, or it just, it's uncomfortable. This is where we have to go inside to find our balance. And remember, no matter what the balance and the connection to the source, as I'll call it today, is about we still have to maintain ourselves most of all as we put out with others, because it is the acceptance and the balance that who we are and what we're doing in our lives that makes the difference. To make sense in life is change. And right now we're in a change. We're changing from fall into winter. Or you could say we're definitely leaving summer behind and we're into fall. Feels more like winter where I am, actually. But the key here is that all things change in time. We change in time. What we might think is a belief or an attitude, and that's it forever. As time comes along, it's like it opens up and expands, and then we need to change with that, because the most important thing is how are we handling all these things within ourselves? Are we allowing change? Are we allowing viewpoints to come in? Are we willing? Now, very often what happens is we're giving so much of ourselves, because the 17 hints of that we don't leave enough for ourselves. So we become depleted. I was thinking of a flower that we overwater. If you've ever overwatered a flower or a plant, and then, or the opposite, we don't water it enough. We've got to know that balance. And then we have to know the balance within ourselves. How much do we take from the universe? How much do we give out? If we're giving out too much, or if we have a belief that says this is how it's supposed to work, sometimes those beliefs get knocked down a little bit and makes it hard. You're in transition, what I call transition from one awareness, and it's like adding spices to your life. And in adding a different viewpoint, a different sense of looking at things, all of a sudden it makes sense in a whole different way. And that's that 21, when we have beautiful balance, beautiful awareness of everything is in order. And it's like when you lose your order, when you lose a sense of order, that's when we get lost. And so breathe back in, knowing that you are still connected. There's still love. There's still element of what are those major beliefs that you have. But change will automatically happen with growth. We leave behind. Sometimes we jump the fence. Sometimes, as I said, the spices come in and it makes it different. But I like the way you're heading. I like where you're heading, but I want you to realize the past is the past. You can't go back. You can only go forward. But I like your numbers. I like 17 and 21 a lot. The 7 is the key, the letting go of the past as you move forward. Very often we think we let go of the past, but we don't move forward. Yours is about moving forward. But thank you very much for coming on. And as I said, we're here every Monday. And even on holidays, I seem to still be here. So it's always nice to see you. Kayla says hi. Oh, you're there, sweetie. Okay. Now we go down to, got quite a few here tonight. Where are we going? Kayla, then Khalid, hi. Hello, respected Norma. How are you? Well, I'm hanging in there, kiddo. So that's good. Even did a treatment for myself tonight, and I don't usually do that on these, but I did. Leroy, thank you. Yes, I am stubborn. Yeah. So remember with stubborn, when you're hanging on to something that's not productive for you, just let it go. See, be more adventurous as to what would come in if you if those beliefs and attitudes let go. Okay. Yes. You should have the package too that was mailed to you. It should be there by now or soon. Ocean Sound 100. Oh, thank you for explaining it. Bless your heart. I'm quite happy to do that. Kayla, it has been a tough week, emotionally and physically, really tired. Prayer, please. Sending much love to all. Okay. So let me, I want to see 12, 3. I know there is one power and I know there is one essence. And as I speak my word for Kayla, I know that the force of life is within. It reminds me of a birthday candle, and there's a little flame. And I want to expand that birthday candle to being a large candle, wide candle, so the flame is bigger. It's like allowing the flame of life, the strength of life, the purpose of life to broaden through every fiber of your body so that there is transition and movement and change as you accept that the love of the universe is working within. It is seeing it as expanding and growing and becoming deeper and deeper within you as it brings everything into an alignment. I give sense in the knowing that for Kayla, there is growth, there is progress, there is love, and there is light, and there is an essence of being. And I give thanks by knowing, and so it is. Okay, let's just hide no raise, but you're just repeating that there. Um, Ocean Sound 100 says, oh, yes, that is true. I will let go. Thank you so much, Norma. Thank you. And Ganesh says, thank you a lot. Well, so Marion explains that she was actually writing. So next I get a little like when I'm not 100%, which I'm not right now, 100%, is that sometimes I get a little touchy on these things. Sometimes it's like, no, I don't want to do that. I want to, and she did read it well. So thanks. Maybe she picked that up. Anyway, this is an interesting time period for people because it's in transition. Many things are happening. Some of them you're not aware of. It's like there's three, I pick up three basic vibrations. And it's which one are we connecting into? Which one are we moving through? How is it working? And that's like, where are we on the scale? And my dear thing here says, anyway, I've got a couple of things here to say. So anyway, I want you to be aware that this is a transitional time. And you got to keep your eye on the prize. If you don't like what's happening on the inside of you, breathe and recognize you can change that. Ganesh says, thanks a lot. Kayla says again, thank you. I love the candle imagery. Oh, excellent. Okay, Ocean Sound 100. I have a question you may know. I notice a lot of spiritual people like the color purple, but for me, I abhor it. Lavender, I can stand, but purple irritates me. Do you know about the colors like that? Purple is intense. It's very often considered a high spiritual color, but it has an intensity with it. And if you're feeling any kind of a needing to be a certain way or a certain thing, because this comes about acceptance of what is. Purple is not a color I hang out in myself. It's not one that's called me that much at all. I understand it though. And I think also we're going to talk about what a person would find on the intensity of a purple is sometimes it is the need or the feelings. This is probably what you're rebelling against a bit inside, is that there's you might say a code or a sense of this is how it's supposed to be. And that is because for many, many years, only certain people were allowed to wear purple. Only certain people were allowed to embrace purple. So there's a code in there, and your sense is kind of shrinks away because it's like, I don't want to be like everybody else or just accepting what everyone else says. Yes, I'll agree. Lavender's lighter, it's easier, but purple has a real code in there. It's coded, so to speak. Every color actually is, but purple is not an easy color, and not everybody can relate to it or work with it. So I would just say, just accept it, that you don't like it. but don't beat yourself up, and don't let anybody else beat you. I would never quarrel about it. And and it would make a big difference. Just accept, I don't like that color in me, don't mix. And accept who you are, accept your reality of what is. So you wrote, do I know about colors? Like, yeah, because every color has a vibration, and how do you relate to it? It makes such a sense of how it is. So it's just like, you don't have to do anything. If anyone says you have to do that, well, I don't know. That's being pretty forceful, but it really is about what suits you. What colors have you feel good? What colors bring you peace? What colors have you feel happy? What color, is like, you work with that and then you grow from there. But if there's a color that you don't really like or can't stand, there's a reason for it. At that time, it may change. But basically, I think you will find you don't have to like it. It won't work because it's not where you're at. So don't punish yourself. Just accept, I don't like purple. There's a lot of people out there that don't like purple. And that's because they don't like the code that's in it and what's expected from it. That's my take on it anyway. Well, I'm going to wish you, I think that there's nothing else coming in. So I'm just going to say, I trust that you will have a good week. On this Wednesday, I will be looking at the month, be doing a reading for the month of November. I'll also, okay, there's two things happening that day. Yeah, the number twos of the Higher Arcana, because we really did a good number on the number one last week. So we're going to do a lot on the number two this week with also the reading, which it'll be interesting to see, because there's been so much similar things as we've gone through the month, so much discordant and so much all over the place. And then, of course, Monday is my Thunder Thought. So you have a good week. Enjoy. We're getting towards November, so we want you to be well and happy. Ocean Sound 100, if you can't read this, has said, had fun. Thanks much. Good night to you. Yeah. Night, everybody. Have fun for the rest of the week. We'll see you next Monday. Bye.